Okay. Looks like we're ready to go. Sorry. OBS. Well, it was an OBS craps the bed day. Those happen every few days. As a matter of fact, like thinking on it, they happen with such a regularity that I think it's some form of memory leak or bad memory garbage buildup. So I just need to either restart my computer every couple of days, which I don't want to do. Or just kind of account for this ahead of time. One of the two. Suppose I'll figure it out eventually. But anywho. Let's see. On this thing I was kind of looking at here before we start. Okay. Okay. Alright, looks like we are ready to go. Get this up and running. Alright, there we are. So, hopefully today I do better than I did yesterday. So yesterday, if nothing else, the game let me get to the digging game. Or I guess I got myself there. I mean, whichever way you want to look at it. But after that, did not work out. Did get a 1 on one of the digging games. Unfortunately, that was followed up by 5 on the treasure box game. And then I died to the moth. Moth fight kind of sucked yesterday. Like, it actually didn't set up that poorly, but I made one mistake and it cost me everything. Like, that and the level 5 boss are the two bosses you absolutely don't want to let drag on. Like, just nothing good happens. It only gets harder. Like, you've got your window for taking care of them while it's still easy, and if you don't do that, well, you're probably in a lot of trouble. Unfortunately, while I had actually kind of gotten the moth where I wanted him, I missed a sword swipe, and that threw off everything. And the conveyor belt was not very generous to me, as he was flying along the edge of the arena. Like, with... one of the easiest ways for the RNG to screw you in that fight is the moth kind of gets close to the edge, and then the conveyor belt's moving like away from the wall, and then it changes to moving towards the wall. Right as you're trying to do something, and because you're so close to the wall, like, you really don't have much time to react. I mean, if you're playing it safely, you can kind of navigate that okay. I'll be honest, like, once it gets really hectic, like, even playing it safe is kind of hard. But since we're going as fast as we can here, like, don't really have time to play it safe on that fight, because playing it safe can drag it out for a minute. Like, literally a minute. He just had to ruin that. I was set up perfectly and everything, and then you had to be a fucking asshole. Alright. That was interesting. So that was not the best job of that. So, let's see. While we're getting going here, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. So I played that some more yesterday. Spent hours just grinding. Getting angry because the drop rates on a lot of the important stuff for later game stuff in that game are garbage. Like, I don't know what their drop rates are for a lot of this stuff. Tried to look online, couldn't find anything immediately. Don't know if it's because the information isn't there or because online search has gotten so bad that it can't find stuff like that anymore, which is a real thing, honestly. Search has gotten really bad over the last few years. But I was sitting there doing the Bahamut Orta fight, which is like a 10-minute fight each time with my characters at their current power level, waiting for one thing to drop. I think I ended up having to do it in the fight about 12 times, because I needed 2 of the thing. I'm not really sure how many times I did it. Too many is the answer. It's like if the fights were mostly me having to, you know, fight the enemy, that'd be one thing. But like, that fight's got sections where you're just running away for over a minute. Like you're just dodging stuff for over a minute. Like, that's a little bit much. Like, you know, I get all the cinematic stuff and all that, but like that's all great like the first couple times, but when you've turned that fight into a grind fight, like, that gets real annoying real quick. Oh, did I do it again? Actually, nothing's on screen right now. I was in such a hurry to get things going because I had to restart the computer. I forgot to do that. The thing is, like, I was actually thinking about that before stream. It's like, oh, I need to make sure I put the timer up today. I need to make sure I put the timer up, and then I forgot. Oh, there's that. That doesn't fix the chat problem. Does not fix the chat not being on the screen. See if I can fix that while playing. There's a challenge for you. Gotta find a nice little stretch here where I don't have to pay attention. Unfortunately, there's not too many of those in this early part. Alright. Where could I possibly... I guess I just gotta clear the dungeon. Realistically. Like there's no more than like a second here or there where I could possibly take my hands off the controller. Well, that fixed it. Okay. There we go. I didn't do that on purpose. I promise. I just messed it up. Oh, just a second. Let me adjust my seating here. Okay, let's go again. Now that I fixed that. So where do you want to go? Okay, so getting back to what I was mentioning about Grand Blue Fantasy. So I had to do all that grinding yesterday. And I more or less finished grinding. Huzzah. Like, I think actually one of the ultimate weapons I just kind of didn't pop off yesterday because it was already late and I wanted to do the Proto Bahamut fight. The last fight I need to do. Now that I was leveled up. So I gave that a shot. Like, first time kind of went okay, but I don't know. Somehow my teammates did something stupid and then we ended up kind of blowing the middle of the fight. Not really sure what happened. Second time went much better, and I actually made it to the last stage of the fight. The thing is, what I didn't know was that the last stage, once you hit 15%, is another game over DPS check. So you need to be able to do 15% of his bar in somewhere between 30 seconds to a minute. I'm not exactly sure how long the time is. I failed this check because I had used all of my biggest attacks right before that. So that sucked, and that's where I quit yesterday. But all through yesterday, because it's like all the grindiness of it, like a lot of things are starting to kind of annoy me with the game. Because here's another thing I learned yesterday. So there's these special items that you can get for participating in random offline or random online raids or, you know, fights. And this is the only way to get them, but you can use them to get, you know, pretty valuable items. And I figured, okay, I'll use those to get one of the items I ended up having to grind for. It took me forever. Because I was about halfway through the grind at that point. I was like, this is silly. I have to be able to get this another way. And there was that way. And so it's like, okay, I'll try this. And so what you have to do is they give you these tickets. And you can use up to 3 tickets per one of those fights. And depending on how many tickets you use, that'll determine the rewards you get if you clear the mission. Seems pretty straightforward. So the first time I did it, it threw me into a fight I hadn't done yet. It threw me into the fight with the Black Dragon. And reflecting back on it, I'm really glad that I didn't absolutely ruin that. Although I'm pretty sure that whoever it was kicked me in the middle of the fight, which is fine. I don't care. Like, I ended up clearing it with the AI versions of their characters anyway, because their characters are so overpowered. But this time, it threw me into fights that were in the DLC that my character wasn't even remotely prepared for. Like, 1, I didn't even have access to the content. And 2, like, the content requires, obviously, weapons and stuff from the DLC. Or not from the DLC, from the expansion. So... too early. I guess better too early than too late. But anyway, so, like, I went into the first fight and it was against... what was it against? Oh, the first fight was a Proto Bahamut. And so, like, I wanted to beat that by myself, so I was like... when I beat it the first time, so I was like, well, I don't want to do this fight, so I just dropped immediately. Now, unfortunately, when you do that, it costs you those tickets. And, you know, those tickets aren't easy to get. Like, you can only get one every day for free, and then... if you want any additional tickets, you have to do 3 fights. Online. Every 3 fights you'll get 1 ticket. So those tickets are pretty valuable. Because they take a lot of time to get. So I was like, well, that was just a little bit unlucky. I'll try it again. And, you know, as long as it's just not that fight, any other fight will be okay. But then the second time I do it, it gives me the Behemoth fight. Now, the Behemoth fight, I think, is actually fairly deep into the DLC, or until the expansion. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, well, yeah, there's no way I can do this, and I just dropped immediately. Like, the thing is, like, I think the fight, too, like, it basically does attack right off the beginning, that if you don't know it's coming, it's going to kill you. And it killed me. So then I was like, oh, I'll try one more time. Same thing. I don't understand how you can have a random matchmaking feature like that that's going to throw somebody into a fight that they have no business being in. I don't even understand the psychology that would allow that to even be something that could have happened when they were designing it. Ugh, 601. No filter at all. You either accept random matchmaking or you can't do it at all. Only thing you can filter is region. Now what it will do is if you're overpowered for the fight, it will scale your character down, but it will not scale your character up. Crazy, yeah? So I wasted 9 tickets. That's like 9 days worth of tickets that I wasted on that. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that they would have designed it that way. Like, I get it, you know, like, most of the people that are playing right now are probably people that have been playing the game a while, so... Now, the thing is, like, the first time I did it, like, I got the Black Dragon fight, which was right at where my level was, and then the second fight after that was like a really easy fight, like a fight where it had to scale me down a long way. So I got those two and I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty sensible. You know, it's they're about at your level or down is how it does it. Nope, not at all. So that had me pretty angry. Like, it's even crazier that it'll give you a fight that you don't even have available to you. You know? I mean, one, that seems like a reasonable thing to automatically filter. And two, like, that's spoiling the game for the person that's playing online. Like, why would you do that to them? I just don't get it. Like, I don't get how... It only makes sense if you've got so few players that there's nobody to match with, and I doubt that's the case right now. But maybe it is. I don't know. Like, best as I can tell, it almost feels like this game's more popular outside of Japan than in it. Because, like, I'm in the Asian region for matchmaking, so it makes me wonder if there's just not that many people playing. Because it feels like there should be a lot of people like me. Although, I did learn one other thing, too, from angrily scrolling forums yesterday. There is actually a way to power yourself up for the expansion, so that you can do the old content more quickly. The game doesn't tell you this is what it is, but it is there. there's like this guy that'll come up to you and ask you to go somewhere to help him out with something at the start. And I was just like, okay, well, I'll do that whenever I'm done with the base content for the game. But it turns out, like, the whole purpose of that guy is he takes you to a place where if you get to the final area of it, like, it gives you stuff, I think, from the expansion that allows you to power up a lot more quickly. Been nice if the game had told me that. Although I wouldn't have used it anyway. But even still. And there's people... there are people complaining about that on the forum too. It's like... why wouldn't you tell anybody that that's what that's for? You know, that seems like pretty vital information. It's... Alright, let's just be blunt. It's very clear that the people that made this game haven't made something like this before, because, like, a lot of the things that would seem obvious, like, they just didn't know to do, it looks like. And that's not me reviewing the past, it's just a statement of fact. Like, it's unacceptable. But that's why it happened. Like, they just don't have any experience with this stuff. Like, I think what the game has to worry about right now is it's got a very hardcore dedicated group of core users, and then a mass amount of people that just kind of played the game casually but liked it a lot. And I think they've been listening to those hardcore users, and here's the thing about that. Like, those users are important. They're especially important for a gacha game or like a mobile game. Like, those are your lifeline in those games. A game like this, though, if you want to take a game that has potential and kill it, like, that's how you kill it. And you know, the same... Oh my god. Screw that. It's unbelievable. And following dude? No, not yet. Like, I figured at this point I might as well just beat the base game. I'm right there, you know? Now, apparently after Proto Bahamut, there were DLC bosses that got added afterwards. I don't know what I'm gonna do about those, but right now, like, I just want to beat Proto Bahamut with the CPU without using any of the stuff that you get after you beat Proto Bahamut. Because that's the other thing that I found, like, trying to search for stuff online about this, is there's almost no information about doing that fight without doing it online. Like, almost everything about this game seems to work on the assumption that you're playing online, so if you have trouble, just get someone to carry. Like, I was actually kind of shocked, like, how little information there is about some of the stuff. I don't know, maybe I need to go actually search in Japanese. I just did English searches, but maybe I actually need to see if I can find Japanese wikis and stuff for this game. Like, when the game's popular, the English versions tend to be better. But with a game like this, like, it may not be quite popular enough for the English wikis to have good info. But I mean, like, the forums are just full of people that clearly play the game a whole lot. So for them, like, they just either don't understand or don't care about the perspective of somebody that isn't dedicating hours of their day to playing the game. And like you need those people when you're expecting them to support your game by paying money like on a daily basis. When it's a game like this where everybody's paying the same amount, like you need those people less. Like they're kind of important, but the fact that it looks like this expansion's only got about 5 to 10% breakthrough is not good. And that's what happens when you kind of tailor everything to that group of people, because that's all that group is. It's about 5 to 10% of your users at most. So if you tailor everything to them, that's all you're going to have left. And that's not enough to support a game like this. And if those people were smart, they would realize this. Like I say, like World of Warcraft's kind of got the same problem. Like the game got so big, so advanced, so complicated that trying to jump into it as like an absolute newbie was just... it was asking too much. Like the amount of time it would take to not get caught up, just to kind of get, you know, like online so you kind of understand what's going on. It's just such a commitment that most people aren't going to do it. Like heavy, like core gamers, like guys that play games between 4 to 8 hours a day or more. Like one of the important things for those people to understand in terms of keeping their hobby somewhat mainstream so that it can afford to make nice things is that the majority of people don't play nearly that much. They play maybe 5 to 10 hours a week at most. Sometimes less. And this was like one of the things somebody was complaining about is like, you know, I haven't touched this game in 2 years. Like I don't really remember how to do everything. And like this expansion is basically throwing me in as if I've been playing for forever. You know, it'd been nice if they had, you know, like a little bit better tutorials and explanations of what's going on here. And that's a very reasonable and fair expectation. But if you're somebody that's been playing the game for forever, like, that's not a priority for you. You don't care about that. Like, for those people, all they care about is, like, I've got all these new players who I have to carry all the time who are causing problems in fights. Because all those people care about is, like, doing those fights as quickly, as optimally as possible. And, like, I've never really understood that myself. Like, your version of enjoying the game is spending as little time doing it as possible and avoiding as much of it as possible. Because, like, that was the thing. Like, somebody put up a tutorial for the Proto Bahamut fight, and they're labeling it as for beginners, but they're talking about, you know, like trying to skip massive sections of the fight that you can only do if you've got equipment that's, you know, beyond the fight. And so everyone in the comments talking about, you know, like you probably shouldn't be talking about skipping sections if you're aiming this at beginners. Because, I mean, when we're talking about skipping sections here, I'm not talking about like skipping one little part. He's talking about trying to bring that monster down from 80% to 15% in one go. And like the amount of firepower you have to have available to you to do that. Like, if you're a beginner, you're not going to have it, period. But even if you're not beginner, like, it requires a pretty extensive knowledge of the fight, as well as a pretty extensive knowledge of what the online meta is as well. So it's like, why are you even including that in the guide? And so because he's just assuming you're going to skip over large sections of the fight, like he doesn't go into the detail necessary on those sections that if you're a beginner you absolutely need, because like if you don't know how those sections work, you're going to keep dying, and dying in those sections is basically going to ruin the fight. Because that was one of the things, like, I was kind of wondering if it was the case, but it is the case. Like the experience, like some of the experienced players were in there saying like this one part, like throughout the whole fight, like he puts elemental crystals on the deck, and you have to destroy those crystals within a time limit. Otherwise, these are going to use a party wipe attack. And it's not like a game over attack. It's just, you know, we're gonna have to have, everybody's pretty much going to have to revive. Now, there at the midpoint, he puts these crystals in the skies that you have to shoot down with the cannons, and if you don't, the crystals then get, like, these crystal barriers get placed over the crystals that you're supposed to destroy, and it basically doubles their HP. So, more or less, it makes it impossible to destroy them, is what it does. Like, unless you've got, like, massive DPS, like, at that point, you're screwed. And once you kind of get into that death loop, you're really not getting out of it. And I was suspicious that that was the case, but then, like, some of the experienced players were kind of like, yeah, like that's the one thing you don't want to have in the fight. That happens in the fight, like, it's almost unrecoverable. Yeah, didn't do much damage. That was pretty unlucky there with a lot of stuff. Come on, let me get out. 3, 2, 1. Hey. But yeah, like it's frustrating how many DPS checks there are in this game. Like, I don't mind those crystal DPS ones as much just because it's not game over if you fail it. It's just, you know, okay, well, everybody has to revive once, which is a pretty big penalty. And since it does it multiple times, like if you fail it multiple times, then, you know, that'll lead to game over. It seems fair enough. And the DPS checks aren't that bad. It's more, you have to kind of, like, know the mechanics of the fight to avoid getting into a bad DPS check. But, like, the last DPS check on that fight, like, getting rid of, like, unless you've got weapons that you get from beating that fight, like, getting through that DPS check with normal stuff, if you're not ready for it when it comes, you're pretty much screwed. Like, I hate, like, that's such a mobile game mechanic. Like, when I played Puzzles and Dragons, like, you'd have to deal with that kind of shit all the time. It's something that's going to kill you because you've never seen it before. So you didn't even know it was coming. And they put those in those games to try to get you to burn through, you know, like, whatever the paid currency or whatever it is for the game, you know? Like, that's why those are in there. It's not a mystery. Everybody knows this. That's exactly why they do it that way. It's to try to get people to spend as much money as possible. Again, like, you already have my money. What are you doing? It's like, why are you trying to filter everybody so hard into, like, this one mechanic when you made all of these perfectly interesting mechanics that were fine right up until this point? Now, one of the most important gates in the game, the thing that the game builds up to, now you want to throw in a DPS check that basically forces you to rebuild the way that you've done your entire party to that point. And if you haven't built towards that, then you've got hours of grinding in front of you. Now, if you're the kind of person that's trying to monetize, you know, time played and game played and stuff like that, that's got you salivating. But with a single player game like this, that, like, wasting people's time provides you no monetary benefit, well, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it's It's insane how much time I've had to spend trying to prepare for this fight. This one fight. An extremely crucial fight at that. And what's even worse about it is because of the mechanics they put in place to make this fight that way, like it broke the expansion because now the expansion had to build to those standards. I mean, it's crazy how bad game design is these days because like games just aren't like fun doesn't seem to be the number one goal of the majority of games that are built by companies of any size, of any kind of decent size anymore. Like it's not about making a game that's entertaining, it's about making a game that's built to some kind of metric that doesn't necessarily even lead to making money. And the reason that's the case is because the people that are making these decisions don't even understand the product they're selling. They just hear the word game and all they can think is like, oh, mobile games work this way and they make a lot of money, we should make our game that way. It's just crazy how bad of a problem it's gotten. And now that you've got like a decade or more worth of people that have done nothing but making mobile games and they're trying to move back into, you know, single player games because the mobile game space is basically stopped growing. Well, this is all they know how to do. I mean, I'll be honest with you, like, and, you know, I understand that people enjoy those games, but, like, mobile games in most cases aren't even games. Not in the sense that I think of them. Like, they're not designed to be fun. Like, when I hear the word game, like, game should equal fun. If a game is not fun, then it's not a game, it's a chore. And most of these online games aren't fun, they're chores. They're like, I think Skinner box is the proper term. They're Skinner boxes just designed to keep you pressing buttons. Like, fun has very little to do with the equation. Like, they only care about fun so much as it keeps you attached to the game. Like, if fun is getting in the way of you being attached to the game, then they will eliminate fun. Like, I don't really consider these games. These are psychological experiments on the populace for how you can extract more wealth out of people. And, like, I want to give Grand Blue Fantasy credit. Like, the first 70 or so hours of the game, I enjoyed a lot. Like, it's just been this last stretch where they did this to try to extend out the life of the game because they didn't know how to do it any other way, and they've kind of really messed things up a lot, and it's a shame. And they can't pull it back at this point. Not without making a brand new game. I mean, imagine like the end game ultimate boss in a random JRPG. So, for example, like Ruby Weapon in Final Fantasy VII or something like that. Imagine if you made like beating Ruby Weapon a requirement to be able to access new content in the game, like new DLC. Like, that sounds insane, right? But that's what they did with this game. And the thing is, like, Ruby Weapon's actually a pretty light comparison, relatively. Like, you can 100% Final Fantasy VII in less than 24 hours. Like, I guess actually a better comparison would probably be, like, trying to beat the Demi-Fiend in Digital Devil Saga is actually probably, because you've got to max out everything to be able to do it, pretty much. I mean, the thing is, like, I understand the thought process that led to everything that they did, but it's not a thought process that is suited for what they were trying to accomplish. Oh, god damn it. Shit. Ah. I got greedy there. I should have just been patient. Taking the win. Instead, I tried to speed it up and made the fight harder than it needed to be, especially when I didn't have a margin for error. Oh, that was foolish. Like, again, like, I'm just kind of curious to figure out what happened with this expansion, like how well it sold and how many people that bought it realized how much they'd have to do to be able to play it and either returned it or very upset at the moment. Like, I think it's reasonable to put, you know, an expansion like that behind beating the game, you know? Actually, you know, like, getting through the main story. Like, that's, I think, a fair bar. Especially if it's story content, because, you know, not all games are Souls games where your story is kind of tangential to the part of the game that people really like. So, you know, like the Souls games, they never required you to beat the game to be able to access the DLC content. They just required you to get to a certain point and get like a certain item, and then you could go do the DLC content, like long before you even beat the game. Like, I think with Dark Souls 1, like you could get to the DLC content extremely quickly. But, I mean, the DLC that they released after the original game came out, like, not the expansion, like actual DLC, like I think there were some DLC bosses and some other stuff that they released. You know, like, that was already harder than the hardest stuff in the game. And so then they had to make something harder than that. Now, the thing is, like, each one of those things, when you're upping difficulty like that, that becomes a filter. And so all you have to think about when you're the person designing this is, okay, how many people do I have that got up to this point? Because they probably got those metrics. They can look at what the people online are doing, because probably the majority of the people that are still playing the game before this came out were playing online. All this expansion was going to do was further filter that number. Like, you have to look at content difficulty in terms of a pyramid, so the more difficult it gets, the less people that are going to reach it. So if, you know, X% of people have reached this point in the game of the base game, then when you reach an expansion that's beyond that point, you can pretty much assume that even less are going to get to that. But, you know, they did do the mitigating thing where they put the content in there that allows people to try to catch up. They did do that. But then they didn't make it obvious that that's what it was for, so they probably got a lot of people that didn't even realize that's what it was for. They just saw that the quest marker said you need to, you know, finish up through Proto Bahamut, and are focused in on that. Because that's where the indicators in the game lead you. Yeah, like, that's what kind of got me, is like, I haven't seen any traction with this game at all in Japan, and I figured it would be more popular here than it was in the West, but that doesn't look to be the case. And I think part of that is, I don't think the game released on PC until later. I'm not sure about that, but I want to say that the game released on like PS5 first, and then it kind of ported over to PC a little bit later after that, because people were talking about performance issues with the game on the port, so that's probably what happened. I'm not 100%, and I don't care enough to really look it up, but... like, yeah, I get the feeling that, like, a large portion of the player base is... like, Western anime fans that... Wilds didn't really, scratch their itch, so to speak. The thing is, like, from the way that people talk about it online, it seems like this game in some ways is really similar to the gacha game. Like it's a portion from that or something like that. Like, I don't know. I really, again, like, I'm not invested enough in any of that to have looked it up. But, like, from the way people talked, it almost kind of seemed like that. So I don't know if that's the case or not, but... that does seem to be a thing that's kind of picking up popularity recently, is to take these online gacha games that had a pretty big audience, but they probably had a lot of people that didn't play it because I don't want to, you know, waste time on a microtransaction game. And so, you know, like Final Fantasy Resonance, they in Octopath Traveler 0, you release a standalone version of it. You know, Dragon Quest did this too. With Dragon Quest X, you release a standalone version of it and see how many people buy it. And those games apparently do fairly well because you get people that never played it before, and then a lot of the people that play the game online end up buying it because, I guess, honestly, because they realize at some point the game's going to go away and they want to have something of it. Or, you know, they're one of those fans that buys everything. But those games seem to do pretty well, actually, relative to how much they cost to make. Like, I think if they weren't making profits, people wouldn't keep making them. So it may be the case that that's what this is, but I'm not sure about that. It may be a completely standalone experience. And the thing is, like, it's smart in a way because, like me, I would never play that game free to play because I understand exactly how it's going to work. But if you're telling me that I can pay up front and then you're not going to annoy me with all of the money grabbing tactics, then okay, I can get on deal. I can be on board with that as long as I know how much I'm spending. You know, that's something that I can consider. I don't know why those skeletons are being so annoying this week. Like, that room has been a mess all week. Oh man. I really did not do a good job there. So the trick isn't just to make it harder. What you have to do is you have to make it so that in order to get past the gate, you have to have something that you don't have. You have to get something new. So like gacha games do it with like, okay, well here's this new card that has this new ability that you need to be able to make this dungeon a lot easier. Yeah, new mechanics. Or you raise the number just a little bit so that it's better than everything that exists. You know, it's that kind of thing. And then by raising the bar, the older cards aren't as effective as they used to be, so you don't get past like a damage cap or a DPS check or something like that. And like that's how they get you beyond, you know, like, okay, well here's this really cool design that we made that's only available during this event. You know, like FOMO. It's a pretty tried and tested formula. And the thing is, like, the further that somebody gets in on something like that, the harder it is to get out. And, like, that's part of the play that Sony's trying to make. Like, Sony, with their decision, like, they're making the bet that people have got so attached to their digital libraries that they won't be willing to give them up. I don't know about other people, but I don't really feel that way. Come on. Ah! It's the second time this happened today. The thing is, like, with that one, what really screwed up what happened right now is when I hit him with the charge and he still hit me with the arrow, that knocked him further away, so it let him hit me even more. Like, normally the penalty there is you get hit twice. But because he managed to hit me right when I hit him, I knocked him back, he knocked me back, and that created enough space for him to be able to shoot me multiple times again. And not only that, I was probably about to get backstabbed by the Green Knight. So, like, it's just, oh, God, God, that was unlucky. Anyway, the digital library thing, like, I really hate how much of modern life has become a battle of psychology. It makes me really glad that I studied this stuff. But I hate how much of the modern world is just corporations trying to take advantage of human psychology. You know, not that advertising hasn't been doing that for forever, but at least it used to only be advertising. Now people just get treated like puzzles that you have to figure out, you know, what are the buttons you press to make money come out. What are the buttons you press to get vote? Like, that's all modern society is now. I don't know, maybe psychologists were a mistake. It's how almost everything works these days. It's almost everything you see new that gets made is in one way or another attacking some form of psychological weakness that the majority of humans have. And like the thing that really bugs me about stuff like Cocomelon is like that kind of stuff's really pernicious because like you're fucking those kids up. Like you're fucking up their brains when you do that kind of stuff. Like short term, like Cocomelon makes money off their videos, but like long term, those kids like they've got all kinds of fucked up psychology now because you're frying their brains. It's not like they just stop that stuff and it's like, oh, well, that doesn't matter anymore. Like, when you mess with people's brains at the developmental stage, like, you can cause all kinds of damage. That's the other thing too, like when some of these people tell you like they want access to kids and then they're trying to complain about like, oh, you know, like we're not going to do anything to your kids, God. Like, no, don't ever trust anybody that says that. Like when somebody wants access to kids, it's because they're trying to affect how that kid grows up. Okay? Do not ever believe anyone when they tell you that they don't care about anything like that. They absolutely do. They'll be like, well, we're not trying to hurt them or anything. Well, okay, what are you trying to do then? Now, here's the thing, like, I'm not a big believer in the idea of ADHD. Personally. I think ADHD may be a fairly rare thing that might actually be something with some people. But I think ADHD, as it is modernly interpreted, is just poor behavior being medically diagnosed. And in some cases, I don't even think it's poor behavior. I just think that it's children, mostly boys, acting like they've always acted, but society doesn't want to let them act that way anymore. So they're trying to force them into a box through medication. And on top of that, you got the pharmaceutical companies that got the incentive to push it because, well, you can't sell drugs if there aren't problems. Not sure if I could have just walked through that without getting hit by that rock or not. Still not entirely sure how those rock hitboxes work. Oh, that's going to be really good right up until that hit there. That's too bad. No, it's still good, but that was going to be, like, really good. Anyway, I hope I finish that Proto Bahamut fight today. I'm tired of doing all the grind for it. Like, I went ahead and looked up how people kind of made builds for it, playing it offline without the, I forget what they call it, the terminus weapons, which are... Terminus weapons are what you get for beating Proto Bahamut. They are extremely powerful. Like, they're so powerful that they make the fight a joke once you power them up. But you can only get them by beating him. Now, the other catch is that the weapon that you get is also random. So, like, people have been farming that fight forever trying to get the drop for the one character that they main. Which is the largest complaint that you will see online about this game. Is the fact that you have to farm that fight for forever to wait for your weapon to drop. So, like, I kind of have an idea of what I need to do, but the thing is, like, it turns out, like, I'm already mostly there. So it really is just kind of about setup with that fight. Like, you've got to be careful about when you knock it in different phases and things like that, which is kind of annoying, but that's also a... Oh my god, how did I walk all the way around it without being able to pick it up? Playing Ring Around the Rosies with the jars. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. I can't believe this. Ah. Like, I don't understand what happened at the beginning of the fight. Like, I don't understand how I missed that early shot. What did I do to... Hold on, I need to take a look at that. Like, that can't happen again. That's... Oh my god, how did... Okay. Like, I understand what happened. I just don't understand why it happened. Like, the very first one, the one closest to me at the start, like, he moves diagonally across the face. Like, the first, at the start, the guy that's right in front of my face moves upwards. And then one kind of crosses in front of me. And usually, like, I'll hit that one as he's crossing, and then I'll finish him off there. But for some reason, like, my timing was just completely off, and, like, he got by me without me hitting him. And that just screwed up everything. I don't know whether that was, like, I pressed the arrow button too quickly, I was too late, like, I don't know, but, like, that just completely fucked up the fight. God damn it. That was gonna be... Would have been a fucking fantastic fight if I hadn't messed up the room with the Cyclops and 2 skeletons, too. Like, I would have been in that room in under 10:30. Might have even been done with the fight in less than 11 there. That is a shame. So I don't know if any of you watched the England-Argentina match yesterday, or I guess earlier today, or whatever time it may be for people. If I was an England fan, I would be beside myself with how that game ended up. I guess at this point, the only question is, are they going to fire the manager before the third place match, or wait until the World Cup's over? It's just so bizarre watching them. They go up 1-0. Now the thing is, like, Argentina had, I didn't see the first half, but starting the second half, Argentina had largely been controlling the pace of the game. But it's not like England wasn't attacking. It's not like England wasn't doing anything. And then they scored. And they scored, and then they quit playing soccer. I mean, you see this happen a lot. Like, you'll see this at every level of soccer, but you'll see it most often with, like, a weaker team that, you know, something happens one way or another and they manage to score a goal and get ahead against a team that they're clearly not as good as. So, since you figure from the normal flow of play, you're probably going to give up a goal, you basically just go into defensive mode and just pray the other team doesn't score a goal. And as you saw, if you watched the game yesterday, as you saw, the problem with going defensive like that is if you don't actually do anything to attack the other team, basically you're running practice drills for 30 minutes, praying that they don't score a goal, ever. For like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe even 15 minutes, that's fairly realistic if you're good at what you do. 30 minutes is a big ask against possibly the best offensive team in the world. And even I knew once they got into it, I mean, you could see it. Like, it was a matter of time before Argentina scored, unless Argentina just got really unlucky for the rest of the match, because even before that goal went in, they already had multiple really good opportunities that just barely missed, or the keeper made a great play or something like that. So it's like, no matter how defensive you want to be in something like that, Like, you have to at least have the threat of being able to attack at some point. Otherwise, you get that result. Which is the other team no longer is worried about you doing anything, so they can just figure out where your weaknesses are, adjust, and then just shoot the ball until they score a goal. Now, what made this even worse was England committed to this so early in the game, or with so much time left, that they ended up taking off the offensive players they needed to score a goal once Argentina equalized. So then you found yourself in this position where you're down one, but you need to score a goal, but you don't have offensive players on the field that are necessary to do that. Like, it's entirely on the manager. England would have been much better off just playing exactly as they had played up until the point we got the 1-0, rather than doing what they did. Like, they might have lost playing that way, but they were almost certainly going to lose playing the way they did afterwards. And that is what happened. I mean, that goal that Argentina equalized on, I love it. When I was coaching, I used to love it when other teams would try that kind of defense. Like, I just tell my kids, okay, if they're going to do that, just shoot the ball. And because the thing is, like, you want to know what kids practice more than anything else? It's that, that 20 to 25 yard shot outside of the penalty box. Like, kids will sit there and practice that all day. And when a team plays defense like England was playing there, like, that shot is open. So all you have to do is just take it. And if you're any good at all, and they give you enough opportunities, you're going to hit one eventually. And that's what happened. Because the thing is, if you're just going to pull into the penalty box, like, that area out in front of the box tends to be open enough for you to get a shot off. Might not be the best shot in the world, but it's good enough. And in soccer, when you shoot the ball, for the most part, good things tend to happen for you. Like, even if it hits a player, in a lot of cases that ends up being a positive result. Because when the ball hits something mid-flight, as the keeper, it becomes almost impossible to protect at that point. You just kind of have to hope it goes in a direction where you can react in time to do something for it. Either that, or you have to hope it goes outside of the mouth of the goal. I will say this, though. Had England won that game, I don't see how they beat Spain. Not off of what I've seen so far. Like, I just feel like Spain would just hold the ball all game, and they'd eventually break that defense the same way Argentina did. Like, England would have to hope that they kind of got lucky and scored early, and then Spain somehow couldn't find a way to score. Kind of like the Cabo Verde game. Like, they just have to hope that Spain kind of went brain dead. That was unfortunate. That's how I was hoping it would go last time. It's just a shame it wasn't a better time. Oh, at least I'm finally through. Now, hopefully, I don't have more problems with these stupid soldiers on the way to the library. So far today... What? So far today, those soldiers have been the bottleneck. Alright, we're through. Oh, God damn it. Oof. All right. I made it. Mostly no incident. Yeah. Should have been out in under 16:30, but kind of made a few too many little mistakes there at the end. All right. All right. Let's have a good Lambolus fight. If that's even possible. And that's just how easy it can be. It's going all right. Doing all right. Doing better than this national team. That was a tough match to watch. What happened there? No idea which one is faster there. Decided to try the old way again. Well, I appreciate you watching. Don't worry about it. I used to watch... Well, I wouldn't say watch. I used to have on a lot of YouTube when I was at work. Just because... Well, I could. Not like it ever really got in the way of me doing what I needed to do. This background noise. Yep. It actually does for me. I don't like it when it's too quiet. Like, there's some times where I actually do need it to be quiet to do stuff, but most of the time, no. Like, most of the time it's actually the opposite. Like, it's too quiet, like, that kind of bugs me. That's why I always have YouTube on when I go to sleep. Alright. Yeah. Don't be there. Oh, you were. At least you didn't really mess me up too badly. Thank goodness. Okay. Here we go. Time to lock in a little bit. At least for the next 10 seconds, though, until I get to break time. Then we really gotta lock in. That sucked. At least the second hit didn't cost me any time, though. Whew. Be back in a second. Okay. Oof, need something to drink. Oh, how did I miss that? Damn it. Oh well. Not the worst thing in the world. It only saves me like half a second at the end of the day. The damage hurt though. The damage could have me in a lot of trouble here in a few seconds. What makes you think I'd have roommates? Oh, God. That was really unlucky. Oh well. We're through it. Now I just gotta make this last charge. And then hope the boss fight isn't a mess. Oh, I know. I know what you're talking about. Now, the truth is, I probably would never... I might go homeless before I go to an old folks' home. If I'm being honest. Oh, come on. What am I doing? Ah. Come on, man. Jesus. That's why those unnecessary ticks of damage matter. Like, every single tick of damage you take matters because of that kind of stuff. Like, the thing is, like, if I'd had one more heart, it wouldn't have mattered that I took damage there because I would have just taken the damage and then he would have died. But because I was down to the last heart, like, one, that was unlucky, but two, it wasn't that alone that killed me. It was everything leading up to it that was unlucky. Like, taking those 2 ticks of damage in the first main room when I did the charge up, taking the damage from that tile, which was the stupid one. That was the one that I should have avoided. Oh. Like, taking the damage from that mini Moldorm when I dashed left, because that thing, for whatever reason, was at the entrance to that little pathway, and it's almost never there, but happened to be there today. It was a problem. But the big, I mean, it's still, the big one was the damage from the tile. That was the one that I needed to not take. Like, that ended up being the difference. Just one of those days, I suppose. Like, that was unfortunate. That really should have made it through. Like that tick of damage I took on the way into the tower from that stupid rat, because he just happened to be in the wrong place today. Like, it's amazing how much had to go wrong for that to happen. Not too bad. Oof. Okay, what are we getting? What are we getting? Should have taken the middle path there. That's a mistake. Oh well. Too late now. That time is already gone. It ain't coming back. Okay, rat, what's it gonna be? That's acceptable. And all three of you are gone, so I don't have to worry about you. The time kind of sucks. I'm having to swing my sword way too much. Oh, I actually dodged him this time. Wow. That almost never happens. Oof. Stupid rat. Well, I was almost going to come out of there even, and that stupid rat had to do that. You almost never see them run back towards you there. All right. We are in. Let's get through here. Get back to the desert palace. Try to have another nice lion mollusk fight. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, congratulations on 100. Have a good one, man. Good luck with work. I guess I should be saying thank you, actually. Thanks for always watching. I do appreciate that very much. Can this room go well, please? Hasn't gone well yet today. There we go. That sucks. Whatever. We're still okay. No arrow drop. Okay. Let's not mess this up, please. That wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. All right. Oh, so I can make that. Ah, damn it. Oh. That's too bad. Sad way to waste 2 seconds. Or 3 seconds, however much time that cost me. Boom. Got it. Man, what is with me not throwing that jar lately? Ah, I knew it. Good fight, please. Oh, come on. Not quite as good as the last one, but it's alright. It's okay. Not too bad. Ooh. It's about to catch a face full of cactus there. Okay, got it. Get out. See how this goes. Whoa, you got in the way. Man, did you get in the way. You too. I know, I'm lucky. All right. 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3. Oh, oh, that's such. Oh, come on, man. That was some stuff. Whew. Okay, hopefully this goes better than last time. From this point forward. Because this is where it all kind of started. I did it again. Too early. At least I didn't take damage this time, though. That'll help. Extra heart. Let me face tank that there. Alright. Let's make this dash, please. It was almost treble. Oh, that was lucky. Oh, how did... I'm actually being very generous here. It could have been even faster if I hadn't missed a couple swings. It's actually pretty. Very good fight, luck-wise. Not pretty good, very good luck-wise. Would have been a lot better time if everything leading up to it had been better. Boss fight wasn't really the problem this time. Too close to the hole there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oof. I got out of there without taking damage. Alright, space tank. Boom. That's for the best, though. I don't want to actually trigger the guards in this room or this room. Oh. God, that's annoying. All right, we are here. Start the Ganon fight right around the 32-minute mark. What's it gonna be? One. Two. Three. Four. Five. Streak stopped at 5. Oh, max is 7. 6. 7. Man, how do I keep getting so many 7s? It's not even supposed to be that common. Jesus. I'll be about 10 seconds ahead, I think. Wow, I lost a lot of time on that split. Where did I lose so much time? Oh, seriously, how did I lose 7 seconds on that split? That's a lot of time. Oh, what am I doing? Concentrating on the last split, messing up the current one. Bird, leave me alone. Can't believe how far that thing chased me. Seriously, where did I lose all that time? guess the Red Knights ate up more of my time than I thought. That's a shame. Cost me a couple seconds. Down the staircase. Hammer, beam, door, hammer, slash, door, hammer, hammer. So surprised I got it right, but kind of hesitated and ended up being slow on that last hurdle. That is the way that you want that to go. That's the way that ideally it will go. But I don't get it every time. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Who are you and what did you do with Helmasaur? I guess you owed me that. Wish you'd done it on a better run. Alright, I'll pick up some time here. It'll be somewhere between 10 and 15 seconds up, I believe. Not too bad. Didn't quite make 10 seconds, huh? Ooh. Oh, don't. Oh, damn it. That's too bad. Basically have no lead at this point. Hey, at least we're going to get to dig holes. Well, 1-1 today. Can't be surprised by that. There's 3. Okay. Number 4 coming up. There it is. Okay, well, that's gonna be all for today. That's unfortunately not good enough to continue. 2 minutes behind at this point is PB is pretty much impossible, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this one go here. Thought I'd get here a couple times today, just kind of kept having mistakes happen here and there in awkward places. A little bit unfortunate, but at least we got here once. I mean, to be fair, we had a 1 yesterday, 1 the day before that, and a 1 the day before that too, so due to not get 1, so not too surprised. Either way, at least Helmasaur today was kind of reasonable, so positive development in that direction. But, well, give it a go again, probably tomorrow. Somewhere along the line here, I kind of want to actually do a practice stream, so where I'll set up the trainer and then just kind of practice different parts of the game, and then maybe at the end of that I might do a run, but I do actually need to practice, so I need to practice the second half of the game especially. Like the first half of the game's okay right now, like I could practice the boss fights maybe a little bit, but the second half is where I really need to practice because it's kind of been a while since I've seen some of it, and I am making some mistakes now just because of lack of frequency, so need to make sure that doesn't happen when I get something important. So I need to practice. But I'm going to try to do that sometime in the near future. So anyway, thanks as always for watching. I'll switch over to Grand Blue Fantasy in a couple of minutes. Doing the Proto Bahamut fight today with CPU teammates. No upgrades beyond the Proto Bahamut fight, so like I haven't cleared it. I haven't gotten any of the powerful weapons after that or done any of the expansion content, so this is actually a pretty hard fight in that sense. But I'm more or less set up for it. Like I'm probably just going to get a couple of things so that I can put the final upgrade on my last character. Like that'll only take a couple minutes, and then just going to be grinding that fight until I beat it. Hopefully it won't take too long. But that's what I'm doing today, so if you want to watch that, stick around. Otherwise, hopefully see you tomorrow. You guys have a good day. Thanks for always watching. Bye.